Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of ChortleCast. I'm Jake, and alongside me, as always, Steven, the Pun King, the Streamy Boy.
The Pun King. It's like the Pumpkin King, but a few letters removed.
Yes, exactly. The Pumpkin King.
And an N instead of an M. So really not anything like
Not anything
the
like it,
King.
but we can say whatever we want because this is ChortleCast, where we talk about video games, TV shows, movies, anime, whatever the heck we want to talk about. We're going to talk about anime today. And yeah. And this show gets off the rails and we have a great time and it's going to be great.
And card games.
Tabletop games.
Tabletop and
Is card games in the ballpark of tabletop? I consider it to be, but I may be misspeaking there.
I think it can be because the game we're going to talk about today is a card game, but people rope it in with board games.
Right.
Which it is not. So I think it's really all one.
Are board games tabletop games?
I would say so.
This is a real head scratcher. We'll come back. We need a board game specialist to come in and tell us the real difference here. But I digress. We've got a great show for you this week. We're going to talk about Destiny 2's new expansion, the Warframe, or Warmind rather. We're going to talk about Kingdom Hearts 3's stupid freaking mini games. We're going to talk about.
And Jake's going to tell us how he really feels about it.
I'm going to tell you how I really feel. I need to adjust my audio before I do that because I'm going to scream. Monster Hunter is unleashing a new monster and all that good stuff, so we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about God of War, which is a new game coming out today if you're watching live on Friday, 12 o'clock, which is when we air on podcast services like iTunes and on YouTube, which is what we are because we're a YouTube channel.
We are.
Did you know that, Steven, that we're a YouTube channel?
We're on.
Your hair is doing something real funky, man.
It's
right
doing
now.
something, and I'm trying to
It kind of looks like
down.
a peacock a little bit. I'm sorry.
Down, girl. Yeah.
Down, girl. Down. So if you're watching live on Friday, this past Thursday, Steven put up kind of a unique video for us, something we hadn't really done before, and it's a theory video about where the Soul Stone is going to be in Infinity War. So if you haven't seen that yet, go check it out. But Steven starts the video off talking about his hair, as if it doesn't look good, and he's like, it looks like crap like always. So it's pretty funny.
Yep, that's. I try to just. I'm one of those people that I don't have anything particular I do with my hair, so I'm just kind of like, does it look bad? Okay, let's move on.
Let's move on. We'll roll with it. We'll make it happen.
Yep.
But anyway, if you haven't seen that already, go check it out. Steven talks a lot. I tend to agree with most of everything that you talked about in the thing. But I'm still on the fence about if Heimdall has the Soul Stone. I just don't know. You have a lot of great points in the video, but I don't know.
Yes.
You make a very compelling argument. I don't know.
Thank you.
Because I haven't seen anything yet.
Well, to be honest, neither do I. I want it's less of a this is what I think is going to happen. I think it very well could. It would make a lot of sense narratively, but it's more of a I want to see this happen because that'd be really cool circular storytelling where we end where we began with the stones. Yeah.
See, that's the thing about whenever I talk to people and I'm just throwing off theories, and you and I do this a lot. A lot of this is just we're just getting hyped. We're just talking what if this happened? What if this happened? But then there are some people who just get real defensive and are like, there's no way that could happen, blah, blah, blah. This is why. And it's just like, whoa, dude, look, I'm not trying to write down into Congress and say, this is what's going to happen. But, it's just fun. It's fun to think about and theorize.
Yeah, that was my fear doing a theory video because I watch theory videos a lot and I love to think about deeper meaning in video games, TV, movies, all that kind of stuff. And so I was like, I'm going to make a theory because I just thought of it and I hadn't heard anybody present the Heimdall argument as I presented it. And I was just afraid that people were going to immediately throw the Bible at me, the Marvel Bible at me and be like, you're wrong and here's why. You missed a very clear thing. And then I was going to have to leave the internet.
Bye, internet. Steven has left the building. Well, anyway, we've rambled a good bit, but we always start the show with a little segment we call Ketchup. Like the condiment, it's full of red, gushy joy, which is where we talk about what we've been doing this week, what we've been watching, what we've been playing, I have been catching up on editing this week. So this week in particular, I have not done anything except edit. So I've been editing because I was in Las Vegas last week, which is why we didn't have a podcast last week. We apologize about that. But while I was in Vegas, that requires a lot of traveling. So I watched 2 seasons, Stephen, of My Hero Academia.
Now, who recommended that show to you, Jake?
You know, Stephen, no one. No one told me about it. It came out of the blue. A crazy success. I'm lying, of course. Steven told me several times.
I have been trying to get him to watch it for so long. I've been like, Jake, you would love it. Jake, you'd immediately fall in love with it. I need someone to talk about it to. Come on, watch it. And he was like, yeah. And what'd you think, Jake? Tell me about it.
Yeah. I love it. I'm obsessed. Mm-hmm. I'm so mad. Like I genuinely feel a withdrawal syndrome right now because I've watched I've basically watched everything that I can at this point. So I've seen the first 2 episodes of season 3. Season 1 is like, I don't even remember, like 10 or 12 episodes, something like that. A standard
12,
kind of length. It's actually kind of short for an anime, really. Animes are usually a lot longer. But the first season is easy to fly through. The second season, thank goodness, is so long. It's like, 24 episodes, something like that?
Yep, I think so.
Which, of course, these are 24-minute long episodes, like typical anime is. So it's still easy to kind of blow through. It's really 12 episodes of a normal show. But I love this show, Steven. I love how slow it moves, which sounds weird, but like they every detail is presented to you, and every character's point of view is presented to you, and it's like you get so much in.
Yes, you mentioned how it feels slow, and that's kind of the takeaway I had from it too. It's not even that it's slow.
It's just...
Yeah. It's like... It takes a few episodes to ramp. And for anyone watching who hasn't watched it yet, watch the first season. And if you even like it a little bit, keep watching. Trust me.
Yeah.
But when you say it's slow, the impression I got is that it's a little slow in that it does take a little while to get going. But I think the better word for it that I have used is... it feels earned, even though it's in a short period of time, where like everything that Midoriya does, you are in his corner constantly rooting for him, to where when like every little bit of control he gets over One For All, even though it's, been a few episodes since the last time you saw that, like it feels like he's come such a long way. So it feels longer and slower than it actually is.
I probably misspoke in saying slow. Really more so what I mean is like season 1 is like the first half of the first semester or whatever at Hero Academia. So like you're watching the show, and if a day goes by in the episode, that's you follow every step of that day almost, and you're on the edge of your seat the whole time anyway. But it's just so good, and like all the characters are great. Obviously Midoriya, Deku, the main character, is awesome. But then there's Icy Hot. I forget his real name.
Todoroki.
He's
the
cool.
Icy Hot, yeah.
I've called him War and Peace, but then Bakugo started calling him Icy Hot, and I thought that was such a better name, so I started calling him that. Anywho, it's great. There's all the characters are great. There's a couple that are kind of weird. I'm looking at the sticky bun guy.
Mineta. Even him though, like it's self-aware in the fact that it knows how gross he is.
Yes.
And like I hate him as a character.
Right.
But I think he's hilarious just because of how self-aware it is.
Yeah. There's a moment in season 2 where all the girls come out in cheerleader outfits, and the announcer, who's like the DJ superhero, he's like, looks like we've got some fan service or something like that going on. And it was just like, okay, yeah, that's totally what this is right now. So it's so good though. Like the action is awesome. The the inner turmoil of all the heroes is going on, and there's this huge villain plot that's kind of still building up. Yeah. That's probably going to flush out a little bit more in season 3, but
yeah, I've heard people who have read the manga, which I'm specifically refraining from doing just so I get the full punch of the anime, say that season 3 it's about to go down. Like it's going to be very, very villain heavy. But yeah, it's got something for everybody. Like you mentioned, like the fan service line from Present Mike, and that reminded me of a moment when they're in the middle of the sports festival. And Todoroki does the thing where he like freezes everybody and gets an early lead. And then Aizawa, who's one of my favorite characters, Eraserhead, says something like, "I didn't teach him that. He knew it on his own." And then President Mike goes, "You heard it here, folks. Eraserhead's a terrible teacher." Like it's really funny. Like it's got genuinely funny comedic moments, but at its core, it's equal parts action as it is emotionally character driven.
Yeah.
Like I mentioned Midoriya a lot, but like Midoriya and Todoroki have really the emotional weight. Like the whole thing about Todoroki and his mom. Like I just watched those with my girlfriend a few days ago, and I was like, dang, I forgot how heavy this was. Yeah. I loved it. But there are those moments, the Stain fight.
Oh yes. In season 2.
Minor spoiler here. But just watch it, please. When Midoriya finally gets enough control of One For All where he can use it and not break himself in an entire fight.
Yes.
When I saw him dash through that alleyway and like connect with a punch, I was sitting on my couch right over there on a Saturday morning, and my arms went up so high. I freaked out. Like moments like that, like they're so earned. Even though like it is a shorter anime. Like anime usually, like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, stuff like that. My understanding of them is they usually take a longer time for stuff to happen. And this one, stuff happens quickly, but it still somehow feels like you've been waiting for it for a long time. So it's an interesting.
Well, but even like there's not like season 1. You towards like the last 3 episodes, you meet kind of the League of Villains or whatever, that's like the underlying bad guy, and you kind of get to know them for like the last 3 or 4 episodes, and they overcome that obstacle, but you know that threat is still out there. And then really in season 2 you see that threat still kind of boiling under the surface, but you don't really directly make contact with them until like the back half of the season. And even then, you're fighting a different villain who has nothing to do with the original villains. So there's a lot of depth and layer there. But what I like about it is short in that I wish it was like 40 episodes as opposed to 24. But it's still like you're not like the main goal that they're working towards is obviously who's really at the head of the League of Villains. But we're 2 seasons in, and we still don't we like know who it is, but we still haven't met them. We haven't confronted them. So it's kind of like Avatar: The Last Airbender, where that show's 3 seasons long, or 3 or 4 seasons long, and you've had this one fight, like I don't know what the word, eluded. Like you've known that at some point the Avatar is going to fight the Fire Lord, and if he doesn't win, this changes the course of the whole world. And that fight, 3 seasons, you find that out on episode 1. 3 seasons later, that fight happens, and it's so freaking awesome. And I feel like that's kind of the trajectory that we're headed towards with My Hero Academia.
Because we know that the story is of how Midoriya becomes the number 1 hero. And so we're working towards that end goal. And that's one of the things I love about it, is that a big problem with me watching anime is filler.
Right.
I don't want to watch more than I need to. I prefer shorter anime because I want the story to be point A to point B, not point A, stop, go to some side points, and that I don't want it to be distracted from itself.
I typically feel that way, except for this anime. They could do whatever the hell they wanted to do, and I would watch it, and I'd
honestly,
love it.
I actually kind of agree with you, and I talked to Birdie about this last night. My Hero Academia was the perfect cocktail for me to enjoy an anime and get hooked immediately because, like for me, it's all about premise, pacing, and characters. The premise, it's a world of superheroes. Done. I'll watch it. I don't care what's going on.
Sold.
Characters, I love all of them. Midoriya is one of my favorite main characters in anime just because of how he doesn't need his power to overcome a lot of his obstacles, and you see him struggle with becoming capable on his own merit without his power, and then his power is like actually incredible as well.
Right. And
then 3, of course, pacing. I could lose 2 of those and still watch it, honestly. Yeah. So it's just, I don't want to say it's perfect, but like it's pretty dang close to the perfect anime for me to enjoy right now.
Yeah. And you've been watching it dubbed as well. See it.
I only do dubbed.
And there's a lot of, and the anime community would probably scoff at us saying that, but even Brody, who I would consider more hardcore anime than I am, says that watching it dubbed is way better for My Hero Academia. And there was the first episode of season 3 I've been watching through Funimation.com, not sponsored. Yeah. But hashtag if you want to sponsor, that'd be great. The first episode, for some reason, of season 3 was only available in Japanese with sub, and I waited a week, and then it was like I had gone a week without watching an episode, and I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna, because the second episode was out, but it was available in English dub, so I was like, I don't know why this is, but I'm just gonna rough it through this first episode in sub.
Yeah. Fortunately,
nothing like crazy happened. It was just kind of a, hey, what happened last season? Let's catch up on where everybody is. And so that was good. And then the next episode was a lot better. But anyway, it's a great show. So we could go on for days. But Steven, what have you been up to this week?
So this week, I want to talk about. I want to plug Xcom on Tuesdays real quick.
Yes.
Because if you guys are not watching, you are missing so much. Like, there's a lot of stuff happening. The past 2 weeks especially, we've pretty much waged war on the Chosen to where we're on the offense now. We've killed the Warlock, and now we're actually going to be attacking the Assassin on Tuesday. And then we still have a third one to meet. And we still have the actual war going on in the background that we still haven't really waged much of. So there's a lot happening, but we're getting some really good gear. Some soldiers are really showing up, and Jim Anderson, our Templar in the army. If you guys watched last week, you'll remember him as the guy who led the charge against the Warlock, who single-handedly took him down to 1 health with one hit. Like, he is insane. This week cleared an entire road full of Vipers and lost. I'm talking like 12 enemies in 1 turn. Which, if you've ever watched me play, you know that's ridiculous. Like, there's just a lot of really crazy battles happening, and it's only going to get more and more intense. And I need recruits, and we actually got 3 new recruits this week. So it's never too late to join. So watch on Tuesdays, 5 p.m. Central Time, right here on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, come to YouTube. And find out how I can put you in the game.
Yeah. I was just going to add, I've been, when you first got started, I didn't have time to watch them, but I've gotten to where you'll start while I'm still wrapping up at work. So I'll, tweet out your socials or whatever, and I'll have you running in the background while I finish up some emails or whatever before I leave. And so I've ended up watching a lot more of them. And I am so appreciative of how you play it, because you get so excited when something is happening. So like, I get pulled in because I see how excited you are about something, or some enemy will drop and you'll be like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what do we do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Someone's gonna die. What's gonna happen? So
I think it was when the Viper King showed up and I didn't expect it. I just was like my head went all the way back in my, and you actually said in the chat, you were like, Steven, that face you just made.
But, yeah, I wish I've been trying to. I wish I had more time, because I wanted to go back and clip that and share it out, because it was just, that was the highlight for me. But you've had people like almost die. There was one where I have a character in the game called Geralt the Witcher, and you said Miles' character had to drag his dead body like halfway out or something. He was basically dead.
this is how we ended last week. This was the final mission. It was an ambush, which are normally, walks in the park. We had 3 really good runners, so it was going to be as simple as them just running from point A to B. Colleen, a character made by request for a sub of the channel.
From a sub.
Yeah, she and Geralt were going up on the a fire escape, and a purifier, which is basically a flamethrower advent trooper, threw a explosive fire grenade at them. Geralt got hit by it, but Colleen was at the center. They were on the second floor. She was inside. The floor caves in out from under her. She falls through it and basically breaks her legs on the fall. So she's down to like 4 health, which is really bad because I didn't have a medic with me. And so she's down there, and it's like, shoot, I've got to kill the purifiers now. And from the explosion, it says in the corner, a horde of Lost is on the way from the noise. So there are zombies on the way. And so I'm having to decide, oh my gosh, what do I do? So Geralt and Colleen started proceeding on the first floor. And then Miles, I had sent him on recon to go ahead and get to an extraction. So I started running him back. I got Colleen back up to a fire escape, and Geralt was right behind her. But a purifier was below them, and it saw her. So I was thinking, this purifier is about to throw a grenade at her. She won't live through another one of those. So I had a decision. Do I let Colleen maybe die? Or do I send Geralt to probably die? And so I was like, you know what? Colleen is not expendable. She's too much of an asset. She's gotten Soldier of the Week. She's proven her worth. It's Geralt's time. So I sent Geralt forward to this purifier, and purifiers have the chance to explode when you kill them. So he goes up, takes his sword, and cuts him in half, explodes, and it says Geralt is bleeding out. He has 3 turns to live. So Colleen goes down there, starts covering him from Lost. Miles comes up, picks up his body, his bleeding out body, and runs him to extraction, and they all get out alive. And oh my gosh, I've never been more stressed. But the funny thing is, Colleen was wounded for like 21 days, which is long. Geralt was wounded for 10.
He's the Witcher. He heals faster.
He was dead, Jake.
he was dead.
But
he rose 3 days later.
Crazy stuff like that has been happening. It's super intense. Just come watch. It's a great time. And it's a really chill stream because XCOM 2 is my favorite game. That's why I get so excited about it. But because it's a turn-based game, you take it at the pace that you want to take it. So that gives me a lot more time to pay attention to anyone in the chat and actually talk to you guys. One of our viewers, Jaeger, he actually died. His character died.
Yeah, a few weeks ago, I think it was.
He was hit by 3 consecutive explosions. It was the worst. It was awful. But he was like, hey, can I get another character? And I was like, yeah, give me a backstory. So in the chat, Jaeger gave me his new character's backstory, and I'm excited to get that going.
We've got a lore in our version of XCOM.
Literally, that is one of the things I wanted to happen in this game. So if you want to give me a lore, like a character's description, I don't care how long it is, go comment on anything. We will see it. And I'll put you in the game. I would love that, seriously, because that's the thing I love about XCOM is that unscripted stories are made.
Right.
Like, no one probably has the Colleen and Geralt story that I just told.
Right.
Because XCOM's like that. Every gameplay is different because each situation's different.
Yeah.
So, come join the fun.
That's awesome. All right, let's jump into some news before we get too far long. So, Destiny 2, Steven, one of your favorite games. The new expansion, the Warmind expansion, is coming out. This is the second of the first 2 DLC expansion packs that Destiny announced early on in their season. It's going to be coming out May 8th, and it's going to start off Season 3 of the game. So, basically what it's going to have, I'm trying to get to what it says it's going to have. So basically, it's very vague what they say. They say it will send you to new places, you'll meet new heroes, and battle new enemies. You'll earn new loot and master new activities. And that's basically it. They're going to have a live stream April 4th, which is this next Tuesday. April 24th. I don't know if I
Okay.
April 24th. Sorry, next Tuesday. So anyway, and then they talk about some other updates. They're going to be doing some changes to weapon slots and weapon randomization, which I'm not really sure what that means. But anywho, I bought the season pass when we were all playing, so I'm going to get this and I'm going to play it. If you want to see me live stream it or something, comment down below or let us know in the comments or tweet us or whatever. But Steven, what about you? You've already traded in your game. I assume this is not enough to get you to go get the game again to play.
It's one of those things where it was a fun ride, but it was a short ride. Where, like, I was able to get the stuff that I wanted, then found out that I couldn't make the character that I wanted to make. And they showed no signs of changing that. They wanted to oversimplify character builds, which that's a quick way to piss me off, is oversimplify what I can do with my character. Sorry, but I will not have my creativity stifled.
Steven.
Yeah, they unchecked the box. They had a box. And then they were like, hey, let's make a sequel and uncheck one of this guy's boxes. But that's not enough. And like that description right there just sounds like they were like, oh, shoot, guys, we have an expansion coming out. Okay, look at every other DLC that's ever released and put that as the description. Like, give me something specific. Like, what's the new mode? Is there going to be a horde mode or something?
Yeah, I think they probably will when in that live stream next week. So we may be talking about this again next Friday. But yeah, you're right. I need to know what's going to be there. And they say new enemies, but like, is it really going to be new enemies?
Really?
Because
is it like how the Taken were in the first one, where they were just recycled enemies from all the factions, just a new faction of recycled enemies with new abilities?
Yeah,
because that doesn't count.
They just had a new color. Well,
new skin,
and even the Vex in the Curse of Osiris DLC. It was still, essentially it was still the Vex. Like, they operated pretty much the same. They just had different styles. And I think the different styles maybe had a different strength or something, or a weakness. But yeah, I digress. For the most part, it was all the same. So I'm curious to see what that really means. Will there be a new, like, element that'll be introduced? A lot of, like, people have been hoping there will be a new... Because I forget what there is. There's, like, the fire or the solar.
Solar,
then
arc,
there's
void.
The void. Yeah, arc. So a lot of people have been thinking there's like a green power that's going to be revealed at some point, like a decay, I think is what people called it. So unless this has that, I don't know if there's anything that's going to really pull me back in. Like I said, if you want to see me live stream or something, let me know, and I may try to do that. I'd be by myself though, because I'm pretty sure you turned it back in, traded it in, and I'm pretty sure Brody traded it in.
Yeah.
Losers. Yeah. They pulled me in. They left me there to die.
Honestly, it's not beyond hope. Like they could bring me back in. They absolutely could. But they really need to fix their restrictive class design, because and I've talked about this so many times on the podcast, but it's like, don't restrict me to 2 trees. Restrict me to choosing one skill, one trait for each skill. That's stupid easy. It's not overcomplicated. You're not tricking the people who play your game. Don't overestimate our stupidity or underestimate our intelligence. And make some exotics that actually feel exotic. Give me something to work for. Give me a game mode that's actually fun, so I don't mind working for things. And I need something to do after I've gotten the things, because I don't want getting the things to be the part of I want to be able to have fun after I've filled my checklist.
Yeah.
Well,
hopefully, what was it? What was the big update in 1 that got you and Brody and Miles
Taken King
the first time? The Taken King. So surely, probably in a year, they'll have that expansion come out. It'll change the whole game. It's stupid, and they should have had it nailed the first time. But I think that same type of expansion will come, and hopefully that'll pull you guys back in. Because I did have a blast playing it. And like I've said before, like, that was my first taste, whereas y'all's first taste was late game, this Destiny 1. So anyway, I digress. We'll move on. So you've had your time to rant. Now it's my time to rant. Kingdom Hearts 3. If you've watched our content, you know I am very excited about it. Brody's also very excited about it. In fact, one of our buddies, one of our subs, Tyler, put us in a comment on today's tweet. Today's thing on Twitter was like game stock or game what was it? It was like list the 4 games that like define you as a gamer. And he put Kingdom Hearts, and he wrote down like, this talking about this game has built lifelong friendships or whatever. Anyway, I digress. Kingdom Hearts is a big part of my life and a big part of my gaming experience. And gosh dang it, Square is pissing me off. So this week, Kingdom Hearts or Square released a maybe 60-second trailer of mini games that you can play in Kingdom Hearts 3. So, Steven, you're familiar with Game & Watch, right?
Absolutely.
Probably
the worst character on Smash.
Yeah, I was going to say, if nothing else, you've probably seen him in Smash. He's like the black and white kind of like character that moves around. He's very generic looking. That he comes from an older game style that's very much a lot like the old Mickey Mouse cartoon kind of style, but games.
Yeah.
It's old stuff. I mean, original Nintendo type stuff, like way deep old. So it's stuff that moves at like 10 frames per second. Like your character's here, but then if you need to move it to another spot, he'll just appear where you want, like in the next possible zone that he can exist in. There's no like walking, I digress. It's 2D, it's black and white, it's like 2 frames a second, whatever, what have you. Anyway, Kingdom Hearts now has this mini game that are Game & Watch like games and there is a vast variety. The first one they show is like Sora in this Game & Watch style and Mickey in this Game & Watch style, which is just old Mickey. And they're like walking across a beam. They go up an elevator and they save Minnie from Pete or something. And it's just very simple side scroll. But then they show some other things where it's like you're like Game & Watch. Steven, I don't know if you remember from Smash, he would flip bacon and stuff, and that was like an attack. There's like a cooking game, sausage. Well, I digress.
Yeah.
Some cooking. There's like a cooking mini game, but like you're basically like just teleporting from one corner of the screen to another to interact with something. Just go watch the trailer. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Here it comes. Would you like some salt, Jake? I've got plenty.
So pour the salt. Bring on the salt. Put your salt caps on, everybody, because I'm about to rain down some freaking salt. I am so pissed. I don't give a damn, Steven. I don't give a damn. If you told me, Jake, why are you mad? One intern spent 30 minutes to make all these mini games. Why are you mad? Because damn it, Steven, that's 30 minutes that intern could have been doing something more productive to get this game out sooner. And I guarantee you that's best case scenario, but I guarantee you that's not how it is, because I know how gaming works and it's a lot more complicated than that. I don't know who this is for, and it's not for me. And in my opinion, it's wasting time. It's wasting valuable development time to get this game out. Steven, I have been waiting for this game for 15 freaking years. And you're telling me that somebody spent time doing freaking a 2-frame fucking thing that's just a minigame. Like, what? Why? I don't know anybody that's excited about this. I've seen IGN talk about it, but I don't think they were excited about it. I don't know. If you're excited about it, you better. I want you comment because I want to know. I want to know. Yes, Steven.
Jake, to be fair, it's a Kingdom Hearts game.
Don't you come at me with this?
No. I'm just saying. You're not going to hear anyone be like, "Gosh, you know what I can't wait for about that Kingdom Hearts game is that Game & Watch style thing that I'm gonna." No, it's a low tier of the rest of the game. So you're not going to hear that. You're going to hear, "Oh, I'm excited for the new worlds. I'm excited for the new graphics. The combat looks great." You're not going to hear anybody be like, "Hey, you know what?
Exactly.
You know what, Jake?
But so why? You know what? Why even have it? Why do we even have it?
Here's why, Jake. Here's why. Because I bet once you play it, you're going to be like, "You know what? I hated those Game & Watch things. Like, you guys might remember on a podcast, I kind of lost my shit a little bit. But they're actually not bad. They're pretty cool. They're fun. Like,
Steven,
the reason...
you are 100% right. I will probably end up loving the hell out of them. But you know what?
Yep.
I'm not happy about it right now because this game should have been out way sooner. We don't even know that this is 2018. Like they have said 2018, and I am hoping and putting everything I have on 2018 for this game to come out. But gosh dang it, Steven, I've had my heart broken before by this game in particular. So
yeah.
If it gets delayed, if it doesn't come out in 2019, and it comes around that this was the problem, I will never let this live down.
I cannot wait till the day at E3 they're going to be like, so we were going to release in September, but you know what? Those Game & Watch things, we needed more time, so it's coming out in June of 2019.
I'll tell you what. This is where I'm at. So man. Like there was a few E3s ago where they announced. I can't even remember what it was called. It was like Kingdom Hearts X, or like it was really like Kingdom Hearts Chi or something. But it was a mobile game. It was a mobile Kingdom Hearts game. I've played it. It's fun. It's fine. But why the hell did anyone spend any time making that when they could have finished Kingdom Hearts 3 sooner? And I remember screaming that while I was watching it. But anyway,
because what they have right now, have you heard of what is called a cash cow? Because right now, Kingdom Hearts is a huge cash cow and has been since Kingdom Hearts 2. They know that they've got such a diehard fan base that fan base will buy into any crap that they could re-release Kingdom Hearts 1 again.
They have. They've released it 3 times now. I'm not joking. Well, they've done. I know done Kingdom Hearts 1.5, which had like a bundle of like a 3DS game too that came in with it. And then they did like 1.8, and then there was like the 2.54. I digress, Steven. It's time for Kingdom Hearts 3, and this is taking up too much time.
The point is, Jake. If you make it, they will buy it. That's how Kingdom Hearts is right now, and it sucks. It sucks to be part of that. It sucks that you have to wait so long for the third, and like the big title that is 3. But that's just how it is, Jake. It's coming. You'll get your moment in the sun.
It better be in 2018. For real though, if it comes out that, and I don't know how this could delay it, but yeah, if it's delayed and this happened, it's gonna be real hard to console me.
Can I just say, I don't think I've ever been that salty at anything in my entire time on camera on the internet.
Maybe so. It's Kingdom Hearts, man. I get real sensitive. Okay, yeah. Brody's reaction. Brody loves Kingdom Hearts as much as I do, but Brody's reaction was like, I don't even care. Like, I'll never play. He was like, I will never play those. I will never touch it because it doesn't look. I don't care about it. It doesn't look good. Whatever. I will never play it. I'm mad because it's that has taken up development time that could have been going towards not even just like finishing the game, but going towards something better. You know, like I don't know. We could have had something else, but that's what we got. And sure, it's nostalgic, and sure, it's kind of interesting and different, but like, if that's it, there's no other like kinds of I don't know. Something cooler could have come out of that. But anyway, I will move on because I've got my cholesterol is high right now. Okay, so we're moving on.
Who would win in a fight? Salty Jake or Salty Steven? Let us know in the comments.
Oh, absolutely, Salty Jake. Steven is like has kind of a natural level of salt, but when I get salty about something, it will really yes. Well, maybe you'll unleash your full power, kind of like Superman always has to pull his punches.
I'll teach you my ways. I'm the Superman of salt.
The salty ways. Well, I'm the Superman of salt. I love it.
That could be my new name, the Superman of salt.
The man of salt. The man of salt, not the man of steel. The man of salt. All right, let's talk about Monster Hunter. So, Obviously, game that came out this January has been a huge success. I think at one point someone was saying it's the highest grossing game from Capcom in a long time or something like that. They've been throwing out some crazy numbers for it. I don't know how much of them are true, but they've really been singing its praises. What was I going to say? They've been singing its praises. So we enjoyed our time with it. I haven't touched it in a long time. I've been moving on to Ni no Kuni and some other stuff.
I would still play it, but no one plays it with me. And the way I run my character, I can't solo. I need help.
Right. You help others, and you make other people perform better.
How can
luck,
I
Steven.
be me if I can't help others? Yeah.
You're in luck, Steven, because this new update comes with a monster that requires 16 players to attack it. So you're going to be with whole crews of people fighting this. So I'm going to botch this name, and I apologize for any diehard Monster Hunter fans. Brody is our resident Monster Hunter nerd, so he's not here to correct me or tell me I'm wrong. But a new Elder Dragon is going to be available. I believe it starts April 18th, which is yesterday. So this is live right now. The Kulv Taroth. The Kulv Taroth. Anyway, it's the Treasure Dragon. So it's plated with gold and black. It's black and yellow, black and gold, whatever. It looks really, really cool. It opens up a new location, the Caverns of El Dorado, which is kind of cool because like City of Gold, Gold Dragon, whatever, cool. Obviously, you can craft new gear, like new weapons, new armor from the materials that you get off the monster. I'm pretty sure you have to be high ranked to fight it. And actually, I think there's even some prerequisites you have to go through just to get to it. But anyway, the big deal is it's a 16-player siege quest. So I don't even know how that works because I'm pretty sure the most you can have in like a party is four, right?
Yep.
But so I guess there must be some way they're like matchmaking 4 teams of 4 to go fight this thing, which holy moly, that must mean it's super strong. It's super strong.
I think you split up into
something.
groups of 4, and like you work together in separate places to fight it.
Interesting. I want to try it out. I'm not even high rank yet, so I'm drastically underprepared for it. But I hope we get to try it out. I know Brody is anxious to get home and play some of it this weekend since he's traveling a lot back and forth. But anyway, I'm excited. I mean, the game's great, and they've been putting out new content. I mean, we still have some special skins. I forget what the game is. Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry. Thank you. I'm thinking
not
of
Devil May Cry, baby. We're never talking about that again.
They've got some outfits coming out that are like tied into that. So they keep putting stuff in this game, and I think as long as there's a huge audience that got this game and played it early on, as long as they keep that audience engaged, I think this game will continue to do well. Could even go to like be nominated for Game of the Year or game like Best Multiplayer or something. I think it really could go far for it. But anyway, we'll move on from that. Again, if our resident Monster Hunter nerd Brody was here, he might have something else to add. But me and Steven Steven is the Monster Hunter enthusiast-ish kind of, and I am very much a noob, so I can't really say much. Anyway, moving on. Steven, I want to have a little topic of the show here for you. Let's talk about some stuff. We like to do this every now and then when we have an idea of some greater, wider thoughts from the gaming world to talk about. There's a little game, Steven, you may have heard about it. It's called God of War. It's coming out today if you're watching live on Friday at 12 o'clock. I'm actually going to be live streaming it later tonight, so be sure to check in. But anyway, Steven, have you heard of this game, God of War?
I've heard of it.
I think so. Heard of it. So it's a big Sony exclusive game that's coming out this year, obviously today. It looks really good. It looks incredibly good. But what I want to talk about, Steven, I want to kind of tell a story, my experience with this game. I've not gotten to play it yet, but have not played. I've played maybe God of War 3, which came out several years ago, and I played through that one. Did not really like it. It was fun. The fighting is cool. The fights are on an epic scale. You're literally fighting gods and punching Zeus in the face and everything crazy like that. So it's big. It's a spectacle. I hated Kratos. I hated the world. It was just, there were some things I just really didn't like about it. Very lewd. So I just wasn't a big fan. But then, fast forward to 2018, they announce I guess it was fast forward to 2016, E3, they show that first trailer where they announce, oh man, God of War is coming back. We've got the main character Kratos. He's this old man now. He's got a son. Who's his son? Where did this happen? How did that go? Holy crap, they're in Norse mythology now. How is this all going to come together? They showed all that. They showed some gameplay. And I was just like, this is cool. I'm glad for all the other people that really are going to like this. Fast forward another year. They show it at E3. I think we maybe got the release window at that point. And now fast forward to where, here it's coming out. A few months ago, some footage started coming out of like the final build. And it showed one scene. I saw one like GIF on Twitter where Kratos throws his axe. It connects with some dude, and then he just like calls it back, and you hear like the thump when he catches it back. And I was just like, ooh, I want to do that. And so I put it on my radar. I was definitely paying more attention to it now. I guess it was last Thursday or Friday. The embargo lifted, and everyone dropped their reviews. So I woke up that morning. I kind of knew that this was coming. Like, I knew that the embargo was going to lift that day, but I wasn't expecting anything crazy. I open up IGN. The first thing they have on there is this cool picture of the game with Kratos and his son, like, in a fighting pose. And it says 10 for the score. And I was just like, what? So I watched the review, see more gameplay, hear, I forget who it was, I want to say Jonathan Dornbush, talking about how much fun the game was. He talks about how satisfying it is to throw the axe, call it back, all this and that. Talked about how great the story was, how, he was like, don't watch anything else after this because you don't want to have anything spoiled for you, whatever. Greg Miller from Kind of Funny has put out tons of stuff on Twitter talking about, don't watch anything, don't do anything, because if you see, if you even catch a glimpse of something, it's going to ruin some of the action. So there's some huge stuff that's going to happen later on, I assume, based on how many people are like, don't watch anything because it'll spoil, this awesome moment. Anyway, I digress. After seeing all the reviews and seeing how many people really, really liked it, I pre-ordered it. I went right ahead. I went from not caring about this game to a day one purchase. So what I want to kind of talk about, Steven, is obviously we can talk a little bit more about God of War because it's going to be awesome. But what I want to ask you, Steven, and pose the question to you is, what do you feel like review scores affect when you buy a game or not? Have you ever been like on the fence, kind of like that, and review just made you say yes or no?
So usually, no. Mm-hmm. But there's a stipulation there. Usually, I do my research. Mm-hmm. Like if it's a game that I've got my radar on, I've usually made my decision if I'm going to buy it or not.
Right.
But I say usually because there is a very glaring stipulation there. Mm-hmm. There's a game called Spec Ops: The Line. Mm-hmm. Have you heard of it?
No, not at all.
Very few people have. It is a generic third-person shooter on the surface. Like it's, I forget who it's made by, but you hear that name and you think, "Wow, that sounds like an awful Xbox 360 arcade title." Mm-hmm. And that's kind of how it was marketed. Was a just standard third-person shooter.
Hey, here's this. I watched game. Marketing.
I watched this review from Yahtzee off of The Escapist, who does these quick reviews, and he usually hates everything. And I heard this guy who, always hates everything, give Spec Ops The Line like Game of the Year. And I was like,
wow.
Whoa, what's going on here? Immediately, I bought it. And what was marketed as this generic third-person shooter, oh my gosh, Jake, it is a story of the horrors of war, of PTSD. It's super trippy, tells an amazing story, and like no one knew about it. And it was one of those things where those reviews would have gotten me to buy it.
Right.
But I didn't know to look at those reviews.
Right.
So in that case, yes, a game that I would have otherwise not known anything about, reviews can absolutely play a factor. But I think one of the things that makes God of War's 10 across the board so interesting, that makes it more compelling to purchase, is that I think that once we see a reboot or a reimagining of a franchise, if it gets those kinds of scores, it has our attention.
Right.
Because it's going against so much. Like,
a lot of history and a lot of previous
It's
stuff.
got people that are going to be comparing it to the old God of War. Does this meet the peak of the old God of War? And when it scores better than any of its previous, that tells you, like, holy crap, this is a big deal. This has been approved as a masterpiece of a game by people who wanted to see it fail.
Right.
And so I think reviews for franchise games that change direction like God of War did, I think reviews absolutely do matter. And I think that it's very impressive, and I'm interested in God of War because of that very reason. I'm not going to buy it because I've got other things that I need to buy, but I am definitely going to keep my eye on it. I'm going to watch you play it, and I'm very excited to see. So I think that's like we kind of make up our own minds, and we're usually right when it comes to
what we're gonna
when
like
a game is
not.
coming out. Yeah, like when Far Cry came out, people expected it for the most part to get the reviews it did, and it deserved those reviews. But then I think when we're surprised.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
Yeah.
It sounds like, based on your experience, and I know there are some other situations I've had where a review score really caught me off guard. I think that's when it can be powerful, is when it's something you're expecting it to be one thing, and then suddenly you see other people call it out and say, no, this is so much better than I was just like you. I didn't think this was going to be great. Played it, loved it. Here's my 9 review score or whatever. It seems like when they can break expectations, I guess what it really is when you have low expectations and a review score completely, when the similarities between expectation and review score, the further they are away, the more chance it'll have an impact. So, for instance, if I thought God of War was going to be freaking amazing, 10 for sure, and it got a 5, I may have canceled my pre-order, But if it had been like, I think God of War is going to be a 9, and it got a 10, I'd be like, whoa, awesome. But I would have already had it pre-ordered, So
It's funny that I bring this up again, because I brought this up a couple weeks ago because I went to see the new Pacific Rim movie.
Right.
One of the reasons I like the first one is beloved to me is because it was this little big monster robot movie that when it was coming out, no one knew about it. No one cared. They thought it was going to be the generic action movie of the summer.
Right.
And then suddenly you're hearing, guys, there's this movie Pacific Rim, and it's actually really good.
Right.
Like, we all love a good underdog story.
Right.
We like to be surprised. We like our expectations to be exceeded.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to review scores that exceed what we expect, we're more inclined to purchase because we like pleasant surprises. Xcom. Would you believe it? When Xcom Enemy Unknown, the relaunch on PC came out, I had no idea what the game was. I looked at the page and saw turn-based tactical, and I had just gotten a big paycheck. I purchased it. Knew nothing about it. One of the most pleasant impulse decisions I've ever made in my life, because my expectations were literally nowhere.
Right. And
but I walked away with I walked away with a new favorite franchise, basically. I'm wearing an XCOM shirt right now.
Always are. I
Always
was
am.
editing some stuff recently with you in it, and it's just like every time Steven is in an XCOM something. So anyway,
Yeah,
I know
I've got enough
those.
of them,
I know
but-
those logos and symbols now because they're always in Steven's stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But I think with reviews, it really depends. like you said, the distance between expectation and result. That is what makes reviews impactful. Because if Far Cry 5 came out, I expected a 7 and it got a 6.
Right.
I'd be like, that doesn't change at all. If I expect a 7 and it got a 3, that's going to get my attention. If I expected a 7 and it got a 10, that's going to get my attention. Like, it really depends on how far expectation is diverted from what the result is.
Yeah. I think that's a fair answer. Good discussion. Great discussion.
Good discussion, yeah.
Hey everybody, thanks for tuning into this episode of ChortleCast. We do hope that you've enjoyed it. If you did, there's a few things you can do to help us out. Number one, you can, if you're watching on YouTube, you're already at chortlegames.com, and you can leave a like on this video. You can leave a comment on this video. Let us know if you're mad about the minigames on Kingdom Hearts 3, or if you're bitter about Destiny 2's lame DLC or whatever. Pour all the salt in the comments. We'll lick it right up.
Give us some Salt Bay gifts in the comments.
Yeah, Salt Bay gifts in the comments. There you go. That's what we need. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Do that. Also, if you're an iTunes listener, an audio listener on iTunes, you can leave us a nice little review. That really helps the discoverability of the channel, of the podcast on iTunes. So that'd be great if you could do that. You can also send us an email at chortlecast@gmail.com if you've got a topic like, hey, do you guys think reviews matter? Something like that. Feel free to drop those in. We've talked about this before, but Steven we've got this other idea for a podcast that's solely based on just those. They might be a little shorter, more topic based, but we want to try to work that out. So, feel free to shoot us an email with some topics. We may end up doing that in that other type of show, or continue to tag them on to some slower news weeks like we are right now. You can also contact us on any of our social media platforms. We're on Twitter at ChortleGames. We're on Facebook, also ChortleGames. And then we also have a Twitch, Chortle_games on Twitch. And then, And I've mentioned Facebook because Steven always goes, in Facebook.
I work hard.
He works hard on the Facebook. So the best part about the Facebook is when Steven shares out the videos, he makes really punny descriptions, and they're usually great. So you want to catch those on Facebook because they don't always fit on Twitter, but they're great.
And expect, when Infinity War comes out next week, expect a Facebook review that I'll try to get over to Twitter, but I'm going to have many words about it.
Facebook review. So, typically on Twitter, yes. I'll do a video that's like a 15-second-ish review where I scream if I liked it or if I didn't like it really fast. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so be sure to check us out on all those. Yeah, and I think that's it. That's all I usually say at the end. We've got a great week of content coming for you. We have content 6 days a week. So if you're watching live today on Friday, go check out me and Steven playing God of War. We're going to be doing probably the first hour to hour and a half, maybe 2 if we're really... I mean, I'm sure we're going to love it, but like if we're really feeling it and want to keep going. So we're going to play through that. We're also going to be doing fan-made maps in Far Cry 5 arcade mode. So we've already got 1 or 2 written into us already. So if you're watching this and you have something, I don't know if you'll catch us tonight, but if not, send it to us anyway. I'm sure we'll do another one of these sometime down the road.
Someone found us that was like, hey, do you guys play fan-made maps? And like... They found us, told us the name of the map, and we're going to be doing it tonight. Yeah. So even if you're too late to catch us tonight on stream, find us on comments of any of our stuff, and we'll get to it. Yes,
because I love the arcade mode. It's so much fun to play, and I know from stuff that we've seen that the sky is the limit on that thing. So I love just going through a roulette and just playing a ton. So anyway, if you've got some fan-made maps, be sure to drop those in. Even if you just show up on the stream and tell us it, we'll try to jump in there on that. Saturday, we're probably going to be streaming. We usually do 2 streams on Saturday. I believe we're doing Fortnite. Probably going to be me and Steven doing duos. There's like a double XP. There's some new stuff that's dropped, so we're going to mess around with that. And then we're also going to be playing Killing Floor with our friends Friendly Fire Games. So be sure to
tentatively.
That's what we're tentatively scheduled on for Saturday. Saturdays.
One of them just had a baby, so so I don't know if he'll be there.
That's so great. Yeah. But yeah. So anyway, tentatively, we'll do 2 streams no matter what on Saturday. So be sure to hang out with us then. And then Monday we got a Way Out Part 5. If I remember correctly, this is one where we're running through a construction yard and we're chasing this dude, and then we find him, and I get to use a nail gun to torture him and stuff, and it's a lot of great fun. That's a horrible description, but anyway, it's great. We've
Tune in Monday to watch Jake torture with a nail gun.
Hey, it's great. We've been doing a Way Out series, so if you missed any of the other ones, we do one every Monday, so be sure to check that out. Tuesday, of course, Steven does his XCOM series. You guys are taking on the Assassin this week.
We're attacking the Assassin Stronghold this coming week. The mission is going to be led by Soldier of the Week, Brody Farts Lightning, our resident skirmisher. Yeah, he's going to be leading the charge. And if you guys would like to be on that mission, let me know in any of the comments and make your case for why you should be on this mission.
We got three new soldiers to train up, so a lot of action is going to happen Tuesday. So be sure to check that out. And again, if you want to be a part of that, you just have to comment. Steven needs a first and last name, a nickname if you got one. If you know a class you want to be, tell him the class. But Steven knows all of them. He can run you through that on Tuesday. And really, if you don't care, Steven will pick what he needs and help fill out the ranking. So anyway, that's Tuesday. Friday or Wednesday, we have a Far Cry Let's Play. It's going to be me and Steven doing an arcade roulette again. So it should be a lot of fun. I forget which maps.
Gosh,
it's been so long since we went through that, so I don't really remember what.
Yeah.
I remember there was one. I don't remember if that was when we did Nam or if Nam came later, but I do remember.
Nam was a stream.
I do remember there was one where we had it was us versus a bunch of people, but we had like an army of Asian dudes with us, and one of them.
That was my favorite one.
One of them kept. You put me in a gun on a car and drove me somewhere, parked me, and then you were using me as cover. But all our Asian tough boys kept trying to come take me away in the car. And so, anyway, you're going to want to watch that. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thursday, we do a couch co-op live stream. You don't know what you're doing next Thursday, probably. It's always kind of up in the air on who's available and who
you know what? I might see if I can get somebody to come in, and since Avengers will be coming out next week, we might play Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. That'd be really cool.
Yes.
You heard it here first. Going to try to make that happen.
Would be
Lego Marvel Superheroes.
That would be perfect, Steven, because Thanos is coming to that game. I think they just announced that in a DLC. He's going to be coming to that game.
Really?
Yeah, I saw this on Twitter the other day. Should have been a news story, but I guess I forgot about it until just now. And then Friday, we'll, of course, have another podcast for you. And I don't know what we're going to be doing live streaming-wise next Friday, because I'm going to see Infinity War. I don't know, Steven, if you're going Thursday night or what. How
I'm going Thursday at 7.
Okay.
So I'll be available Friday.
So you don't know what you're going to get on Friday for live streams, but we'll probably have 2 live streams on Friday and probably 2 live streams on Saturday. So look forward to all that fun action. And thanks for tuning in with us. Steven, you got any final closing words?
I did, and then I forgot them.
If you can't handle the salt, get out of the ChortleCast. We'll see you next time.